track.
You want to know what is terrifying to me is that just watching that, which was a video game of the actual track, just gave me anxiety. That actually just blew my mind. What is going on, guys? It is JJ here, back with a new video, and I'm not sure how we have not taken a look at this before. It is a kind of self-explanatory video. We're going to keep this intro very short and sweet, something that we can all sort of digest. We're going to take a look at the rules of F1. For as many F1 videos as I've taken a look at, and including sort of like an F1 explained video, we've taken a look at sort of race detail videos. We've taken a look at the championship videos, we've taken a look at so much F1 stuff, but I've never actually taken a look at a rules video, which I feel like an idiot for saying that. Maybe I have. Maybe I have. So if anything, this will be a refresher course for me because some of the rules I still don't understand. Like I think we saw something where like it sort of explained the point structure. Obviously you guys have been the ones that have told me literally everything I need to know so far. So if this video misses on anything, let me know in the comments below and we will be sure to correct them. But mainly you guys gotta correct me because I need to know, making sure that I hit all of the rule points before we get into the 2022 season. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm actually kind of looking forward to buying the F1 game. I'm so hardly debating it, including getting like a wheel and everything. Only other game I play with a wheel is Mario Kart for Wii, and I loved it. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below though, and let's get into the video. As well guys, you can obviously find the original video down in the description below. Let's get into it.
Nin explains the rules of Formula 1. The object of the race is to be the first to cross the finish line after completing a certain number of laps around the track.
Done and dusted. Done and dusted. That's all you need to know. Realistically, that is all you need to know. Whoever's first after this amount of laps wins. That's it. It's the end all be all. It's kind of self-explanatory. It's not as complicated as you have to make it out to be, but obviously there are a lot of different ways that you're going to end up at that first spot. So that's I think the ticker in the sport.
Formula 1, more commonly known as F1, is the most popular auto racing sport in the world and is the highest level of single-seat car racing.
Is this the video game? That's pretty sick.
F1 is contested in varying number of races throughout a calendar year, and each race is known as a
Grand Prix.
Drivers.
You guys say they want to say Grand Prix, don't you?
That is designed to go around the racetrack in as fast a time as possible. There are three parts to any race. Practice. Most commonly held on a Friday, practice is where drivers can test their cars on the racetrack. This is valuable to determine how the car will run given the weather and environment, and also to get the driver used to the track.
You want to know what is terrifying to me is that just watching that, which was a video game of the actual track, just gave me anxiety. That actually just blew my mind. That actually just made me terrified because the corners that they were ripping on that are insane, and I could definitely see myself like screwing up if I were to ever do that, essentially. If you guys get what I'm saying? Do you guys get what I'm saying, sort of? Yeah, I mean, like we took a look at our first onboard stuff yesterday, which I think I'd seen stuff like it before, but essentially just stuff through F1, like the F1 channel. But we actually got like a deep dive on an onboard, on the racing car, and it was nutty. Like it's just the depth perception of it is insane.
To determine which position each driver starts in the race, each driver will complete laps of the track on their own. The fastest driver will start the race on the grid in the first position. The second fastest in the second position, etc.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Until all the drivers are assigned a position to start the race. This is known as qualifying and is usually held on a Saturday, the day before the actual race. The race. Once qualifying has determined the order where the driver
F1
starts,
game looks pretty solid.
The actual race is usually held on a Sunday. Drivers will do one warm-up lap and then line up in the position that they will start as determined by qualifying. Once all the lights goes out, the race begins. Drivers have to complete a predetermined number of laps for a total distance of 305 kilometers, or 260.
So was every single race 305 kilometers? besides Monaco, which also Monaco's a tiny track, so that makes kind of sense. But so is every race just like a predetermined 305 kilometer? How far is 305 kilometers actually? Let me. 2 miles. So nearly 200 miles. That is a lot. That's literally what would be like the drive from like my hometown to where I'm at right now. Like that's the distance.
The driver who crosses the line first after all the laps have been completed.
It's like a 3-hour drive in my car.
Drivers get points for the position that they finish, and the driver with the most points after all the Grand Prix have been contested is crowned the world champion. It's honestly that simple, but there's a few other things that you'll need to know before going to or watching a race. For example, track. Each Grand Prix track is totally different to another.
I still need to know you guys' favorites. You guys talk a lot about the tracks, but you don't say which ones are your favorite tracks.
Teams and drivers,
whether it's like difficulty, whether it's like uniqueness, stuff like that.
From the sweltering heat of Abu Dhabi, to the cold and rain of England, to the humid night race of Singapore, and the world's most famous street race, Monaco. Drivers will usually memorize every turn for every track so that they perform better when they actually race. Tires. Each team has access to
love how
different
I this spell it both ways.
The softer the tire, the more grip you have, but the quicker they wear out. The harder the tire, the longer they last, but they have less grip. Depending on the weather and the track conditions determines which tires the team should use. Using the wrong tire at the wrong time could cost you the race, and sometimes worse. Pit stop. Cars are allowed to go back to their own team's garage, or pit, to change tires or refuel. This is known as a pit stop, and teams are so fast at changing fuel tires and fuel that this can be done in around 3 seconds.
Listen, still to this day, I absolutely love every single bit of the pit stops. I don't get how they do it. I don't get how you do it in 2 seconds. It just logistically doesn't make any sense. 1, 2, gone. That's how fast it is. That's how fast it is. Stupid. I don't get that.
Is allowed as many pit stops as they like, but this adds time to your race and could cost you valuable positions. Penalty. Should you break one of the rules, a penalty may be issued against you depending on the severity of the rule you broke. This can be either imposed as time added to your total time to complete the race, known as a drive-through penalty, docking you starting positions on the grid to start the race, or more severe penalties such as penalising you for future races or excluding you from any Grand Prix. Flags. During a race, marshals will use flags to indicate things to drivers. I'm not going to cover every single
I kind of
flag,
want them to.
but the most common are a green flag. This is used to start or restart a race. Yellow flag.
It's caution, right?
This is to tell the driver to slow down due to a hazard or accident. Red flag. This is an instruction for the drivers to either stop or return to the pit lanes due to danger on the track. Blue flag. This is an instruction to let the car behind overtake you. Checkered flag. This is the famous flag that denotes the end of the race. Constructors' Championship.
This is the team titles.
Or teams are allowed to field 2 drivers in a race. The points for every team's drivers are added up, and the team with the most amount of points at the end of the season will win the Constructors' Championship. I could talk more about engines, chassis, ERS, DRS,
what is ERS and DRS?
Parts, but these change.
I know DRS now. You got drag reduction system, something like that. What is ERS? Energy reduction system, something like that.
If you found this video at all helpful,
honestly,
that
was actually a pretty informative video. Some of the stuff, the flags I still don't understand. Flags I completely do not understand. But either way, this has been a nice A, refresher for me, and B, helps me to sort of get a nice start point of where you guys want to go with, whether it's like tracks, whether it's like certain races, we need to see more practice laps. I need to see more practice and more pole laps, to be completely frank. But thank you guys so much for watching. Obviously, let me know your thoughts on this video. This was actually a really good explained video, just of the rules, which I needed a more sort of basic overtone of the rules. If I was ever go to a race, I need to know what I'm watching. So thank you guys so much for watching though, and peace.